crafty friends, what is up? Welcome back to my channel. Today I have as close to a minimalistic style layout as I think it gets over here at Precisely Tashi, but I have a layout for the Everyday Explorers co-design team using one of the new August releases. This one is called Big Wins. And I have this photo of myself in the month of June when my husband and I were protesting pretty much every day. And I was a street medic, so we were carrying first aid supplies on our back, and just assisting people who got hurt while we were out protesting. And so I have this photo, and it was perfect for the stamp set called Big Wins, because there were stamps in here like fighting the good fight and took action against injustice and took the first step. And I really did not want to do too much to this photo because it was really important to me that the photo and the words were front and center. So I decided to do something that I don't normally do because I am a terrible stamper. I decided to do a stamped background. So what I did was I printed my journaling on a 5x8 1/4 canvas. This is going to go in my Citrus Twist Life Crafted album. And then I printed my journaling was only on 2.5 inches of that paper to leave myself space to do some stamping. And what I'm doing here is building a stamped cluster using a bunch of the stamps. I find if I'm going to do a repeat stamped background like this, it's just easier for me to have all of this, to have my clustered stamps in place, because then I can just build my cluster and it's something I'll actually do. If I have to build a new cluster every single time, it's not happening. So I took my 3x4 block and I layered a bunch of stamps on it, and I'm using the Concord and 9th the Concord and 9th inks for this layout. And you guys, these inks are amazing. They're a new release. They are a dye ink and I love them so much. I purchased the whole ink line when these came out because I was committed from the beginning whether I knew I was going to love them or not, and I do not regret it because they are great. And so you see, first I stamped my big cluster down, and then I'm filling in the spaces around. And my canvas right now is much bigger than 5x8 because I want to cut some off at the end. Here I realized that somehow my paper got wet, and so my inks at the edge smudged a bit, but it was not the worst thing in the world. So I started with Oceanside, and now I cleaned my stamps with my chamois. Also, can you see my chamois in this frame? It is the most terrifying thing I've ever seen. I need to wash it or just give it up and get a new one. But yeah, so I need to just give up on this stamp chamois, but I'm using Peacock. No, sorry, the first color I used was Peacock. Now I'm moving into Oceanside, which is a lighter blue, and then I'm just going to build these colors in rainbow order. So you see I have my big block, which has my big cluster, and then I have my smaller block, which just has 2 stamps layered on top of it. If I had a larger block, I would be able to just do this in one stamp, but I didn't have a block that was larger than 3x4, so I just ended up using a variety of blocks to get this done. So I've stamped in the 2 blues. Now we're moving to green. The green I'm using is Parsley, and there are a lot of greens in this collection, but I'm just going for a rainbow, so I'm trying to keep it nice and easy. So I'm adding Parsley, and again, just stamping in the same stamped cluster that I built, but varying the placement of it on the page. And by varying where I'm placing the 2 stamp clusters I've made, I get a really interesting and dynamic look. Makes it really easy to add interest to your background. And now my stamps are not layered one on top of the other. They just look, they look really cool. So now I'm going in with yellow, and the yellow that I'm using is Buttercup. And Buttercup is a really cool, mid-tone yellow. It's like a true yellow. It doesn't lean like orange. Sometimes yellows can lean kind of mustard, kind of orange, but this was a really true mid-tone yellow. And it was a perfect way to finish out my rainbow. Now, I had originally pulled 5 colors because my plan was to include the red on my rainbow because my shirt has a red cross on the back, which is why I wanted to use that red. But then I forgot. So I didn't fit it in, but I ended up using the red in some way. Now here's a big reveal. I did use purple tape. I'm not sure if I said that in the beginning, but I used purple tape to mask off my journaling because it's a low tack tape, but it's also not porous. So I knew that I would be able to completely mask my journaling and I wouldn't get the ink everywhere. And you see I got that really clean, really crisp line where the purple tape was. I just used my T-square to help me stick it down straight because I knew that With the stamping, the last thing I wanted was to have like a janky line, because you don't want to be doing like mass stamping and then you have a janky, like a not straight line. So I used my T-square to help me stick it down straight. And now you see I've pulled out that poppy ink because I wanted the red on this page, and I'm just stamping Fighting the Good Fight. We're going to call it the title of this layout, and we're going to call it the title of my page. Either way, it worked really well. And so now, you see, here's what I'm doing. I'm trimming it down because, like I said, this panel was wider than 5 inches. And part of the reason why I left it wider than 5 inches is I wanted to be able to put a strip of it on the other side with my photo, just to carry it on to the left. This is the right side. To carry it onto the right side. Now I have to trim this again because remember there was a spot on it where my paper was wet. I don't know how my paper got wet, but there was a spot on it where my paper was wet, so I'm trimming it down again. And I have a really thin strip, which actually I think works better than the thicker strip that I would have ended up with, so it still works. And there we go. So now I've carried over that stamped element to the right side of my page. So now it looks really cohesive, and I have that stamped bits on both sides. So I stuck it down with my ATG, and I want to add a little bit more stamping somehow. So first I pull out some of these flat stickers from Studio Calico. They behave the same as enamel dots. They're not glossy, they're cardstock stickers, but they give you the same appearance as enamel dots. They just give you like a little pop of color. Also, this 6-hole trimmer is linked in every single one of my videos. It is my favorite paper trimmer. I'm all over the place today. This 6-hole punch is my favorite tool. And I link it in all my videos because I work in 6-ring albums all the time. This is good for Studio Calico, for Ali Edwards albums, for the Citrus Twist Life Crafted albums, and you can get it on Amazon. So it's always linked in my description box. Also, all my supplies are linked in my description box. So if you're ever curious about something that I've used in the video, if I can find it, there will be links. And I will link to Christine's shop, Everyday Explorers Co., in the description box as well. So now I'm pulling out these flat stickers that I was talking about, that I like to use like enamel dots. I like them because I can put them in my albums and they don't add bulk. Not like Tashi's ever afraid of bulk. Like, I love how I'm like, it doesn't add bulk. Like, I'm ever afraid of dimension and embellishment. But the album that this is going in is pretty thick right now, so I don't need any extra bulk. And then I wanted to add a little bit more red since there's a tiny, tiny amount of it on this page. So I pulled out these Studio Calico label stickers. I stamped a sentiment using VersaFine black ink directly in the label. These label stickers are perfect for stamping because they're not glossy. And that finishes out the page. So I hope you enjoyed this video. I hope you enjoyed this process and enjoyed hanging out with me. Please like, comment, and subscribe if you're so inclined. Let me know what you think about my fun rainbow stamping. Head on over to Everyday Explorers Co. Tell Christine I said hi. If you want to shop the new releases, there are tons of new releases this month. There's like a plant stamp. There's another prompt stamp, and I love prompts, you guys. Prompts are my jam. So head on over to Everyday Explorers Co. to shop the new releases, and so that's all I have. So until next time, keep it crafty and have the very best day, and I will see you around. Bye!